The fall of Adam and Eve. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and everything that exists. As part of his creation, he formed the first man, Adam, from the dust of the earth and breathed into him the breath of life. Adam lived in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with fruit trees, clear rivers, and animals in perfect harmony. So that Adam would not be alone, God created Eve, the first woman, from one of Adam's ribs. Both lived in perfect communion with God, enjoying the abundance of the garden and walking in his presence. God gave them one clear instruction. They could eat from all the trees in the garden, except for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which stood in the center of Eden. On the day you eat from it, you will surely die, he warned them. In that perfect harmony, Adam and Eve knew no pain, sorrow, or evil. They lived in innocence, without any shame, naked before God and each other. But among the animals of Eden was a cunning creature, the serpent, who sought to disrupt that harmony. One day, the serpent approached Eve with a deceptive question. "Did God really say that you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" it asked, casting doubt on God's goodness. Eve confidently replied, "We may eat from the fruit of the trees in the garden, but from the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. God has said, 'You shall not eat from it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die.'" The serpent, with cunning, responded, "You will not surely die. God knows that the day you eat from that tree, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like him, knowing good and evil." The serpent's words sowed doubt in Eve's heart. Until that moment, she only knew God's goodness, but the serpent's promise made her desire forbidden wisdom. Eve looked at the tree with new eyes. The fruit, which had previously been ignored, now seemed delicious, tempting, and capable of granting wisdom. In an act of disobedience, she took the fruit and ate it. Not content with disobeying alone, she offered the fruit to Adam, who, without protest, also ate. Immediately, their eyes were opened and their innocence vanished. For the first time, they felt ashamed of their nakedness. Instead of the purity they had shared before, they now felt the weight of guilt. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves, attempting to hide their shame. In the evening, they heard God walking through the garden, as he often did. But this time, instead of running to him, Adam and Eve hid among the trees. They knew they had disobeyed. God, all-knowing, called out, "Where are you?" Adam, afraid, replied, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God, knowing what had happened, asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam, instead of taking responsibility, blamed Eve. "The woman you gave me offered me the fruit, and I ate." Eve, in turn, pointed to the serpent. "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." God then pronounced the consequences of their actions. To the serpent, he said, "Cursed are you above all animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel." To Eve, he said, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." And to Adam, God said, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree I commanded you not to eat from, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat from it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, for from it you were taken." Though God showed justice in his judgment, he also showed mercy. He made garments of skin to clothe Adam and Eve, an act of grace in response to their shame. Then, he expelled them from the Garden of Eden so they would not eat from the tree of life and live forever in their sinful state. God placed cherubim and a flaming sword at the entrance of Eden to guard the way to the tree of life. The fall of Adam and Eve marked the beginning of humanity's separation from God, but also the start of his redemptive plan. Though they had disobeyed, God promised that one day the offspring of the woman would crush evil, bringing redemption and restoring the relationship between the Creator and His creation. Thus began the story of humanity outside of Eden, in a world where sin and death would be realities, but with the hope of a future Redeemer.